Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today is day 28. I am Laura Ashley Abraham.
And I am Connie Smuck.
And together we are the Michigan Medium Angels. So I actually wanted to share a story. The other day, I was going for a walk, and like I was telling you guys the other day, I've been really trying to go for walks or do some kind of yoga. It's really helping me to ground and to get out of my head. I'm noticing that being home like this, I'm thinking, just like all of you are, getting caught up in my head and my thoughts. So going for a walk and coming up with a routine where I'm doing that daily is just really helping me a lot. And normally what I've noticed is I like to listen to somebody that's talking something positive, something uplifting. And this day though, I just didn't feel like listening to anything. So I was going through the sub and I was coming back around on a main road, and there's a couple houses that are next to each other. And as I was walking, I heard an alarm, like a house alarm, like a fire alarm going off. I thought, that's weird. So I'm walking, and usually when there's like the smoke alarm that goes off in your house, like if you with the stove or if something starts smoking, like toast, it'll set your fire, your smoke alarm. That's what it was. So I'm like waiting for it to go off, because usually, it doesn't last very long. Somebody will open a window and it will go off. And I walked past the house and I was looking at the houses, and one of the houses had like the windows open, like all the shades were open, and it didn't look like anybody was really in the house. They may be renting or selling that house. I'm not sure. And then the other house had a car in the garage, in the driveway. So I thought, it'll go off. I kept thinking it's going to go off as I'm walking, and it didn't. And so I stopped and I thought, should I go check and make sure that somebody is not hurt, or somebody, I don't know. I felt this feeling. I was going to just keep walking and not turn around and go back. I thought, no, right now with the pandemic, with all this stuff going on, somebody could actually be hurt, or because there were no windows open either. Usually when you have your smoke alarm going off, you open up a window. So I walked between the houses to try to figure out which house it was coming from. And I couldn't figure out which house. And I was a little confused. I just didn't want to go up to the door because it was early in the morning, so I didn't want to wake anybody. So what would you do in that situation? I waited like 5 minutes to hear if the alarm went off, or if somebody was opening a window, to make sure somebody was okay, because to me it seemed like it had been going on for a long time. So what would you have done, Tink, in that situation?
So it was coming from the house, correct?
Coming from a house, but I'm not sure which house. I still don't know which house. I couldn't figure out which one.
You walked up to the house?
Yeah, I walked up to the door to the one house. I walked up to the door to the other house, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't figure out. So I went between the houses to try to listen to figure out which house the alarm was going off at, or if I could see somebody's movement, maybe, when you're trying to get or see smoke, to try to help somebody if they were hurt, or maybe an older person had fallen, or, and the alarm was going off. I don't know if somebody was trying to break in, or I don't know what the alarm was, but I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. But it sounded like the smoke alarm in a house. I didn't see any smoke.
And it never went off?
No, never went off.
That is an interesting question. I don't know what I would do. My first instinct would probably be, and you said it sounded more like a smoke alarm, like not, could it have been an alarm from, no, that would have been not, I was gonna say like an oven alarm when something's done.
Nope, it wasn't that. It was definitely a smoke alarm, like a fire in the house. But there was I didn't see any smoke. I didn't see any fire. I didn't see any windows open.
I don't know if I would have done anything, but I guess the other thing that could have been done is just calling the police and saying, hey, I don't know if this is anything, but there's an alarm going off, and it's been going off for 5 minutes, and I don't know if anyone's home, or if there's an issue, or if someone's in trouble. I probably would have done that, because that way let the police figure out if it's an emergency or what they feel they should do.
Yep. Okay. So that's what I
Yeah.
did. I called 911.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
I did
Nice
because
job.
in good conscience, I had to do, I couldn't just leave it because maybe the house is empty and nobody's there, but what if there is a fire? You know,
Right.
it wasn't going off like, you know how it beeps when the battery's low? It wasn't like that. This was a nonstop steady. So if somebody was in the house, living in the house, they would have heard it unless they
It,
were hurt,
mhm.
right? Or there was a fire or somebody was hurt. So anyway, so I did. I called the police and I was talking to the lady and she's like, well, where are you? What are the, I'm like, I don't know. And I was telling her the mile road that I was off of. And she's like, and I told her the 2 addresses that I thought it was at. She's like, well, that's not the street. That's not a street. I need a road. And so she was giving me a hard time. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, what's the name of the sub? I'm like, it's not in the sub. So anyway, my whole point was that I am very grateful for the 911 operators and the police who are going out to put themselves in harm's way. And I'm sorry if it was a false alarm, but I really was trying to help somebody.
Yeah, that was great. I agree with you because you don't want to just walk away because an alarm. So if you break this down, I just got chills on this. What does the meaning of an alarm? Right? The
Yeah.
meaning of an alarm is to alert you of something, whether it's danger, whether it's something's done, whether it's to get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
So why have an alarm if you're not going to do anything with it? So and this is a good reminder. Remember, everything, there's a reason for everything, and everything is multifaceted. Before I do this, I just want to make sure you were done with the story.
Yeah, that I felt like it was an important story to share, like you just said, because there's a spiritual meaning and a spiritual principle in
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot to this. Just like with anything, it's multifaceted. I'm sorry, honey, go ahead.
No, that was it. It was just, it was interesting to me. And here's the thing that I found interesting is that the 911 operator was frustrated with me, which I was like, I'm just trying to help. I don't know why you're giving me a hard time. I don't know the name of the street I'm on because it should be the mile road. I didn't know it had another name. I walk there, but I don't live there. So I don't ever pay attention because it's the same road. It just curves around. She's like, well, I don't live in, I don't know how she knew where I lived, but whatever. She was not nice. And I was just trying to be very calm and patient with her. I'm like, just give me a second and I'll walk to the street sign and I'll tell you what road it is, but it should be this road. And she's like, well, it's not. And I don't have anything on that street. So the point was that I was being understanding as much as I possibly could with her being rude, and she was probably tired. Okay, she's probably tired. She's probably getting false alarms. Interesting, false alarms. Maybe people are calling all the time and waking her up because this was early in the morning, and she's probably doing the checking in from home, right? Because people are working from home. I don't know, maybe she dispatch. Yeah. So whoever you are, I am sorry if I frustrated you, but I was only trying to help. That was part of the message though too, is that staying calm when you are trying to help somebody and somebody else, maybe she just misunderstood me. She wasn't being very friendly. She was having a rough day. So I was really trying to not get even more frustrated, but I was frustrated. So that was part of the message too. Calm. Go ahead, Tink.
Yes, I totally agree. Well, the funny thing is I feel it's multifaceted, as with anything. First of all, there was being the fact that there was an alarm. Okay, so you heard an alarm. Where in your life do you need to start doing something? Where's the warning symbol or sign in your life where you need to make some changes? And to me, it's almost like a big warning for you.
It's the physical. For me, it's taking care of myself, making sure that I'm not pushing myself because when I'm tired, because I was really frustrated that I was not feeling good. And I was really frustrated. Actually, I forgot about that. That's actually the day that I actually got sick when I got home. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Isn't that ironic? So there's your alarm and then you got sick. So it's noticing when you start to get tired, just don't push yourself. That's to me like an alarming message. Unalarming, get it? But everything happens for a reason, and then everything in your outer world matches your inner world, and vice versa. So where in your life are you frustrated? Where in your life are you feeling like there's someone irritating you? You don't have to answer that.
That's funny.
But it's that way. It's just something. It's matching your vibration as well, of something going on inside of you that you feel you're not able to express what you want to express or how you want to express it.
So this is a good segue. That is interesting. I didn't even make the connection. So a few weeks ago or a week ago, we did a video on a subject that was personal to me, and I was having an issue with a family member who was frustrating me. And then we pulled the video because I didn't want to upset this person, and I didn't really realize that it could be an issue. So I don't know, some people, I know that there were some people who watched it, and I actually did want to address it. So it's funny that this is coming forward because I was frustrated in that video, same thing. And so the same issue is coming forward again, which we always talk about that, you know, if you're not dealing with something or working, which I have been, but the same, there's the underlier is still there. So the issue has not been able to be resolved, although we've been trying. I'm doing what I can on my end or from my part as much as possible. So, and that's not always an easy thing to do when you have an issue with somebody. So you can do what you can do on your end, but if you're not able to communicate or to have a discussion about it, it can be difficult to resolve the issue. So for me, that's where the underlier is coming back up again, is being frustrated with the situation. So it's a work in progress. You know, all relationships are works in progress, and this is specifically one for me. So yeah, go ahead. Thanks, Tink.
No, there you go. I totally agree. It's funny because one of the things that I forgot to mention in the last video about the critters being in the up in the attic is everything happens for a reason. Had he not gone up there and checked, he informed me that because I knew that my dryer's been taking like 3 hours to dry clothes, and it's from when I moved in, it was vented improperly. It's vented where all of the lint and stuff, the extra lint that's not caught by the screen, actually gets vented out into the attic, which is a health hazard, okay, in of itself. So when he had gone up there to check to see what was going on for what vermins were up there, he had mentioned that about that being a health hazard and an issue, and also he had mentioned that there was insulation covering it. So and the weird thing is my eyes have been getting really swollen, and I've been getting rashes and welts all on my eyes. And every time that happens, I know that, what am I not seeing? Like there's something going on I'm not seeing. So there was a dryer just beeped. Isn't that funny? So anyway, it's been on the back of my mind to clean out the dryer, because the last time was probably a few years ago, and there was so much lint that was actually all in the dryer. And my brother he works with heating and cooling. He owns his own business, and he says, yeah, that can cause a huge house fire. So it's been on my mind with the clothes taking so long. Now I know that that was covered, which means all that none of it's been going out. So I did that a couple days ago. I spent like 4 or 5 hours, took the whole dryer apart. I could not believe how much the whole dryer inside was packed with lint. I was pulling it off like in blankets, and it had started small fires because it was burnt. There was a lot of burnt spots on there, but because it's metal, a lot of times they will put themselves out. But if you have lint going up the pipe, that's when it actually creates the house fire. And I did. Seriously, it's a miracle that I did not have a house fire with all of that lint that was backed up all in the pipe and all in the dryer. I took a half a garbage bag full of lint that was shoved in my dryer out. So thank you, Angel. Thank you, Vermins, for being up there. Thank you, Chad, for being, another reminder for me to do that. But I'll tell you, as soon as I got that done, cleaned out the dryer, I thought my eyes would get worse because I thought it was an allergic reaction. because all that lint I was pulling out. Well, the next day my eyes completely cleared up, which, you know, by all rights should have gotten worse. So pay attention to those signs. If you have something nagging at you or you have an alarm going off, it's you always be thinking. We just get so busy and rushed. Like, you know about this stuff. So for you, this is second nature to say, what does this mean?
But that's really funny though, because I actually didn't even think about, I don't know how I didn't. You would think that I would have, but I really didn't realize until now we're talking about this, and a little bit, you know, I was thinking about part of it, but not the full meaning. It didn't even connect. And then now you're saying that I forgot about the dryer too, with the small fires that were in there. So that is really weird that I had that and you had that within the last couple of days. It might have been the same day. That's really weird.
Yeah, it was probably about the same day. So seriously, I do not know how it did not start a fire. And because it's been taking so long to dry, it's been literally easily 3 hours for one load of laundry to dry. Now, when I have it all clear, it's like an hour and a half, which is normal. For jeans and towels and whatnot, it's about an hour and a half, which is normal for that dryer.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So if anybody's listening that needs to clean out their lint dryer, because mine vents right outside, so I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't ever have to worry about it. But obviously there are different setups. So if you are thinking about that, or if it's on your mind, there must be a reason. Check your lint dryer. Now's a good time. Yeah. And what is the warning? Because if you're watching this video too, there is some kind of warning that is coming forward for you. So where's the warning in your life that you need to be looking at? Is there something that you need to be looking at?
I just heard, what do you need to take care of? What is it you need to take care of? Put the number one thing, put that first, and take care of it. Get it done. Get her done.
I like that. Hashtag get her done. Get her done.
Get her done. Very good. Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
I think that says it all.
All right. Hashtag get her done. Go ahead, Tink. Sign us off.
All right, everybody. Have a magical day and night filled with peace, love, and light. Until tomorrow.